this. I yeah, my premise is
So like,
obviously that like Hashirama the scales above, obviously.
yeah. So is your premise that Hashirama beats Minato?
I said that he scales above.
That's what he said.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm in negation to that.
What do you say?
So can you what's your method of scaling?
You want to go scale first? You want me to scale first?
You scale first.
I
You scale
let's
first.
let's call it. Let's just say like Hashirama over like Jubito, Jubito over like Minato.
Uh, doesn't wait. You were talking about a lot of Hashirama.
Yeah.
So how would okay? So you're talking about Edo Hashirama. Okay, yeah. Uh,
No, I said alive. Alive is above
okay.
Ito.
All right, yeah. So my method of scaling here, I'll type it out real quick. I'll grab it. Let me
Why
grab
ask me
this.
this?
So
Why would tell me the don't? Why tell me the scale?
Hey,
You're not
Air
gonna allow me to
Tiger,
go first. Alright then. You can go
look at
first. I'm fine
scans
with that.
one.
no, I'm just trying to get it. You can keep going with your scaling.
If you wanna, no, go first. Go first. You're gonna go. Let's do your thing first.
Okay, I mean sure. Okay, so I'll type it in
Scans one.
Scans
scans
one.
one. Scans one. Uh, so that's my method of scaling. Uh, if
KCM Minato, 2 BG Sage mode, over KCM2, over Sage mode, whoa, over, yeah, so like, why, like, what's it called, KCM2, relative, like, you were, like, he's, like, a relative to, like, a weakened, like, Naruto, right?
Where are these scans at?
pardon?
You all will, that, like, you can say, like, he's relative, I agree that he's relative to, like, a weakened Naruto.
Not really. It's not weekend.
Okay, you all will, like, he literally has no chakra, like, at all. Like from the nine tails, which was giving him the power in the first place. Therefore, Minato literally had to give him chakra. So like he was blatantly not at his full strength at all.
Yeah, Minato giving him chakra. No. The thing is, Bijou Sage Mode Naruto at that point in time was like he was getting some chakra from Minato, but he was still using like
Hold
he
up, why
still
is he?
got.
Hold up, wait, hold up. Actually, let me still make that. Why is KCM2 Naruto with blind sage mode model?
Okay, so basically um
Like
let me
oh well,
see.
like EO model reacts to KCM2 and he blatantly states he wasn't trying at all. Right? You
Yeah,
all aware
sure,
of that,
but
right? So like you have a much weaker form of model, uh, implying that like he scales above this KCM2. It's like why would the same KCM2 scale above a stronger model? We have like a blatant contradiction from beforehand.
okay, well I'm gonna send the scan real quick.
Okay.
Um so okay, so some context. So this is what happens afterwards. So after wait, let me see if this is scan. Okay, so basically, during that point in time, the fact that Madara didn't notice it at all, like, just shows that Naruto was perception blitzing him. And even though Madara has like Sage mode, even though he has Sage mode, he wasn't
Can you
even
tell me what
even able
chapter
to
this
react
is?
to it. Yeah, sure. Let me
Because
see.
like I don't think being in Sage mode really means anything to be honest.
No, he didn't have he was blind Sage mode. He's yeah. Wait, let me find the chapter
Yeah,
for
let
you.
me just find the chapter. I want to have the context.
Yeah. So
Okay, that
right.
that
So
would be
it's
like after.
chapter. Yeah. So the chapter is 658.
658. Here, so alright, let me see
So,
this. 69. Yeah, well, like, give me 1 second. Let me decide if I'm gonna look at the chapter.
so I
Okay.
mean, I can prove that like Naruto just perception blitzing him, even though he's stronger than what he was in
Yeah.
Edo,
Give
and
me a second. I don't need your reasoning if I haven't looked at the context first. I can't rebuttal anything if I don't have the context of the situation as well. So that's why I asked you. Give me a minute to look at the chapter.
okay.
Yeah, what's it called? You know, like, what's it called? Always saying was restricting his movements.
What?
Y'all will like doing this scenario. He's like slowed down because God was like restricting his movements.
That wouldn't matter because he was even if he was there's no like you can't quantify how much it was slowing him
Okay,
down, and also
okay,
you
okay,
can't.
okay.
Also, not
Let me
to mention he
rebuttal. Let
wasn't
me
even able
rebuttal.
to perceive.
Okay,
He
let me
wasn't even able to
rebuttal.
perceive it.
Okay, let me rebuttal. Alright. So like I told you before, if we have a weaker model of being able to react to a KCM2, but now we
No,
have a
but that
strong.
wouldn't matter because
Hold
this
on. Let me
mod. No,
finish. Let
because
me
this
finish.
not. No, because
Hold
no.
on. Can I finish? Can I finish? Right.
Sure.
Let me make the whole point here. Like you're asking me to quantify it. I'm pointing out there's a clear, huge difference. If a weaker version is able to react to him, but now he's clearly slowed down, and now he can't react to him. So now we have a huge, massive difference, knowing that this one is blatantly stronger based on the Hashirama statement, saying that he's regaining his old strength. So yes, there's actually a very big difference in when it comes in terms of speed. So yes, it would matter very much. Now you
No,
can go.
because no, because he wasn't even able to perceive it. He wasn't even able to react to it.
Okay, I just gave you the reason why he couldn't react to it.
No, that doesn't prohibit him from reacting to it. It that prohibits him from like trying to counter.
Okay,
But that
if he's
doesn't.
slowed
That was
down, right, then he will fully react, right? But when he's not slowed down, he's able to react well in a weaker form. Like we have a
being
blatant
held down.
okay.
No, no, air tiger, air tiger.
We have a clear
Being no, listen,
contradiction
no,
to your
listen, air
scale.
tiger, air
I'm
tiger,
giving you
air
a
tiger.
clear contradiction.
Being no, listen, air tiger.
Mm-hmm.
Madara, despite being held down,
Restricted
he
movement.
should
That's what he said.
that would not know. Being held down wouldn't affect your perception, like what you would be able to perceive,
Okay,
especially
I am
since
not
he was still.
talking about perception, right? Right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. He perception blitzed him. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, but if he can't even react, he can't turn around. If he perceived him or he didn't, it wouldn't matter because you couldn't react either way. That's why you're not getting here. Like I don't think what's called perception thing really matters because we already know he was slowed down. We know he can't even
No,
react even if
because
he
no, being
wanted to.
slow, no, being slowed down by Gara doesn't mean that he can't perceive any slower.
What the hell?
My movement. Okay.
Trying
You
to,
said
I'm trying to quantify how much
we
Gara
didn't hear anything you just said.
me.
Yeah, your
Your
shit cut off.
mic cut off.
All right, yeah, but the thing, what I wanted to say was that you trying to quantify how much Gara was holding Madara down. You're trying to
It's a
quantify that by
restricted
saying that
movement.
Edo Madara. You're trying to quantify that by saying Edo Madara was able to, like be on par with TCM2, even though there's no proof. Like, you can easily say that, like Naruto, you could argue that Naruto was getting stronger during that point, which he did especially after receiving chakra from Minato.
There's like no way of proving that because if he's already there's like a nerfed, then he gets an amp. You can't quantify the difference. Like what do you mean he just be stronger based off somebody else's chakra? What are you
Exactly, but the
talking
thing is
about?
that KCM2 Naruto that Edo Madara was reacting to was also fatigued.
Why is that Naruto fatigued? That was a Naruto that like nobody pulled up yet. Like he didn't even end up sharing chakra. Like that was basically like almost 100% Naruto.
No, he
Like
was
he was
using KCM. No, he was using KCM2 throughout the entire. Like he was using KCM1 throughout the entire war. Then he depleted. Then he regenerated his chakra. He used KCM2 for like a huge long time. He had like a fight with fucking
okay. If you're saying
uh
he replenished his chakra, that means he was at 100%. That doesn't help you.
yeah, but not at that point. Not at the specific point.
Uh, and I don't really understand the perceived from because
Because
like
it was not. He couldn't perceive it. He literally Naruto just came out of nowhere. Perception blitzed him and then attacked him.
let me see quick. Yeah. I don't really see how like that really counts if he's like getting up as well. Wasn't like he was even had a
How
chance
would that
to like
affect his
react.
perception? How would no air tiger? How would that change the fact
Okay,
that
chill,
Naruto perception
chill,
blitzed him?
chill, chill with the
Just because he
yelling,
got
bro.
up after.
Okay, okay. You do understand that if there's a feat that this is so-called blitz, right? But if you don't even get the chance, then you can't take that feat and say that scale is above. It's similar to the feat when you see V1B blitz Sasuke. Sasuke was looking in the whole other direction. That's why you can't say V1 would be over Sasuke. This is the same situation. He
But
doesn't
why was he
even.
looking in the other fucking direction? He saw
He was
him and then
on the
no, he killed
ground.
Sasuke.
Look at the scan. Look at the scan beforehand. He's literally getting up. Hasn't even gotten up yet, and then he gets hit back down. Like plus with restricted movement. So one now we have
Yeah,
a.
that's restricted movement. Air
Oh
tiger.
my
I'm
god.
trying to make the argument that he perception blitzed him, bro. I'm trying to make that argument.
Yes, I
I'm not
understand you
saying
have
that.
perception blitz, but I'm saying that even if he were to perceive him and he went to react, he literally didn't have the chance to. Therefore, you can't make the conclusion that he would skill over him.
You can no. He might not skill. No. My argument is that not. So he might not be able to. So Madara wasn't able to because he was overwhelmed. Is what you're saying. But the thing is that Naruto was like easily able to just come out of nowhere and then overwhelm Madara even more than he was already overwhelmed. You can't even quantify the amount that Madara was overwhelmed. You can't quantify that.
Overwhelmed. Okay. I feel like it's my point. We can like go to conclusion. I mean, like conclude on this point.
Sure. What other contentions do you have with my scaling?
No, I'm just saying we can conclude on this point of your scaling, not on your whole
Okay.
scaling.
Nate, private DMs or different VC?
Okay. Now it's so good. It's like we my YouTube like an idiot and be stop posting stuff like that on scans. Delete it for me.
What? I'm not even recording.
I'm recording. That's why I don't want stuff like that in the video. So do me a favor and delete what you sent. The photo.
Alright, Nate, are you here?
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Go to
yeah,
private DMs.
we call it Nate. You know?
Wait, there's two people judging, right?
Yeah, Nate and Crimson. I just want to make sure they're both there. I don't feel like repeating myself when I do my conclusion. Yo. What is up with this? Yo, is it just me or is it like disco like lagging?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yo, Nate, Crimson. Alright, can you hear me? Just make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, because on my screen it doesn't show like my thing turning green, so it's like I don't even know if my thing's working or not.
Yeah, Discord's acting up.
Oh my god. Can you give me like 1 second? That's when like restart my Discord. You there? Let me start this Discord over again.
And join up. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, I had to restart my
Okay.
Discord because that wasn't just not working for me. Okay.
Yeah, the same shit was happening for me for some reason. You guys were just want to give your
Airtiger, you want to
conclusion.
start first or what?
Yeah, just give me a second. I gotta like re-put my screen up.
Alright, sure.
Yeah, Discord's being weird.
Yeah. What's it called? Yeah, so basically my argument, right? Well, his argument is basically he scales above Blaze, based off like this blitz or whatever. I'm saying one, you can't even say that you would scale above him because he didn't even get the chance to react. I gave him an example of how like Sasuke, can't react to B because Sasuke was looking in a whole another direction. So we have an example of why he wouldn't just automatically scale above. The same thing
No,
would
but then
apply.
okay,
Hold
okay,
up. This is
no,
my
but
conclude. You can't speak when I'm concluding my point, bro. Let me conclude my point. I was one, and then what's it called? Two. I brought up the point about restricted movement. he brought up the point how like you can't really quantify him. I gave one contradiction or somewhat of a quantification, saying that a weaker version of Madara is able to just blatantly react to this KCM2, and now you have this Madara that's supposed to be stronger, and he's restricted. Now he can't react. So now you've either or he can't react because he's literally getting up, so therefore he still wouldn't scale in terms of speed, or he can't react because he's restricted, which would still support my last point, and is we have a blatant contradiction with the feat I brought up beforehand. So I think I won that point based off that, and I think I had more evidence to support my point.
Okay.
You can go, Delights.
You might. Okay, so can I move on to mine?
Yeah, conclude on this point.
Okay, so I just brought up the point that like literally you can't like quantify the amount, like just because they're slowing him down doesn't mean that his perception could be slowed down. Also, you can't quantify the amount of chakra that Minato was able to give Naruto. Therefore, you can't just blatantly say that, because we can see him performing better feats than he did before. So you can't just blatantly say that Naruto is at the same strength as his last in KCM2 before he had all his chakra depleted and Minato gave him chakra. And therefore, other than that, like literally, I think we covered anything. Like I kind of covered all my scaling. I mean, if Airtiger, if you want to into your scaling, you can.
Like I said, we're concluding on the point. I'm not concluding on your scale. If I win this point, then the scale is debunked, and then we can move on to mine. So Crimson, Nate, y'all can say
yeah,
something.
Nate, I'll private DM call you.
What's up with the judges leaving and stuff? Are they going to like another BC to talk?
Yeah, they're talking about the judgment.
Oh, alright.
How's your day going, Delights?
My day is going fine. How about yours?
Good.
A quick
Also, if you
question,
want,
Delight.
Airtiger, after this, I can edit your video too if you want.
This one?
Yeah.
Actually, I want to see if you can edit a video. I'm gonna have a collab with someone. I was wondering if you want to edit that for me.
Sure, I can do that.
Bet.
Oh, Delight, is that like your real face? I'm just curious.
No, that's newbie's face.
Why you
Oh,
got
alright.
newbie? Why you got newbie use the face as your profile pic? I haven't talked to that homie in a minute, bro. Last time we talked, we were like streaming on Twitch together. That was fun.
Also, like, one more question. How old are you, Delight? I'm just curious.
I'm 14, my man.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. You sound like you're 13 or 12. I'm not trying, no hate or anything. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No offense taken.
Alright, so
Bro,
Nate Crimson,
you should have.
what's your
We moved up or what?
All right. Okay. So
Also,
basic.
both, Nate's gonna say the conclusion. Both judges agreed on the same thing.
Okay, so basically, I think I only have to go over like one piece of evidence that you guys are going over in this like whole entire point, right?
Okay.
It's about the quantification. In my I'm taking this from my interpretation of what's going on here. I think you don't need to quantify something just because you can't necessarily quantify a certain amp or a certain moment doesn't necessarily mean that it's invalid or futile. And he's given like a preponderance of evidence for why this would be the case, basically saying he reacts this time, but now he's held down, which basically negates your saying quantify, right?
Yeah.
And then he can't react this time.
Yeah,
So
and now he's
basically,
stronger too, so that's why it's
yeah.
What I was gonna say, like the lights kind of went back on the same original point that he stated. After the quantification part, Air Tiger gave a proper rebuttal to like not being able to quantify or not like he doesn't have to quantify it. Right afterwards, I just heard the lights say the original point.
Yeah, and then
I don't
all
feel like
you're the only
both
way.
judges don't feel like the lights gave a proper rebuttal to his point.
Yeah, and like the only thing you necessarily you did was say just because you're held down doesn't necessarily mean that your perception is down. I didn't think that was a good enough rebuttal.
Okay. So like that
Still
part of
doesn't mean
yours.
it's invalid.
What?
It still wouldn't mean that it was invalid, but I guess if you could argue that Air Tiger used better rebuttals.
Sure. Continue debate.
Okay, so that part of your scale is just like broken. Do you have like a second scale you wanna drop?
Not really. I could just technically I could just scale I could scale KCM to Naruto above Edo Madara, who was stated having like a Renegon, which like Renegon amps and shit like that, and basically I think I would just put him over a live Madara, and since a live Madara was able to was like equivalent to a live Hashirama, and KCM Minato scales above KCM2 Naruto, I think that it wouldn't be fair. It would not like.
Alright, I'm
So
gonna
like
keep it
it
above
would.
with you, but I was like trying to keep up with you and say you mind typing that out because that seems like a second piece of scaling. You mind typing that?
Okay, yeah. So no, it's literally the same thing, but take out Blind Sage Madara. It's literally the same thing.
Take out. Hold on, let me look at this. Take out blind sage model. KCM Sage over KCM2. KCM2 over Edo. Yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna like this. I'm gonna stalemate like the beginning. So why is like KCM2 over Edo model if like we already know that one KCM2 couldn't even tag model, and that same Edo model blatantly states he wasn't even trying. So like you have a suppressed model scaling above KCM2. So like
I mean, yeah. Once again, like I would bring back the quantify point, but like you said, you wouldn't be able to like that. That wouldn't make it like that would still make the argument. It wouldn't make it invalid. So I mean, to be honest, like for the rest of the scale, like I mean, for I shit. Actually, fuck. I have something. I have to. Whatever. I just concede. Honestly, because I have to do some shit. Some shit. I'm not even at my house.
GG, mate.
you're not gonna like. Are you sure you gotta go? You don't want me to go one more scaling?
No, I mean, if you want to scale, you can if you can do it quick. But I have really some important shit to do.
How much time would you say you have on it?
Like 5 minutes, 10 if I push it. I don't know.
Okay. Do you want to do
Probably
you
keep
want to at least defend what I just said, my rebuttal?
What'd you say?
I just said like why is KCM2 over Naruto? If you know like what's it called KCM2 could even take model, and that model wasn't even trying. So you have a suppressed model scaling already scaling above KCM2 in terms of speed. So
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't have any contentions with that.
okay.
Can you move on to your scaling?
Okay, so my scaling is basically just like uh Hashirama, the scaling over Jupiter, and Jupiter the scaling over what's called Minato.
So for how is Hashirama over Jubito?
Okay, it's stated that like Madara can beat what's called it's stated that Madara can beat Jupiter, and like Hashirama would just
Can you
like
say that
scale to
again?
Jupiter. Yeah, give me
Can you
one
say that
second.
again?
Yeah, just give me one second. Nah, that's blowy as hell. Give me one second. I'm gonna find you like a better statement here. I think it's what 47, 647. Okay, there we go. Alright, so like this is like Ada model. What's it called? And then it's like a live model would just like scale up off that. Right. So one from the statement read this
Wait. One thing. Wait. So how does a live Madara scale above that? Even though a live Madara, he only unlocked the Renegon when he was older, and I think Edo Madara with a Renegon Infinite Chakra with a Renegon would scale above a live Madara with Omangekyo Sharingan,
Hold up.
Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan.
What is like? Are you trying to say like Edo like
Edo Madara would be above a live Madara.
an EMS model?
Yeah, an EMS Madara.
Okay, are you aware that like Hashirama blatantly states he's regaining his old strength? Therefore, we have this implication that like this Edo model, even though he has the Renegon, he has all these amps, like so scales are below his alive self. So like,
But that it's blatantly contradicted. Like it's stated.
okay,
It's
why is
it
it?
no it no it's no listen, airtiger. It's stated that the Renegon is a successor to the Sharingan. Therefore, Naruto with Infinite Chakra and the Renegon would be realistically would be above his old self, his alive self, since he only unlocked the Rinnegan when he was old. So there's.
Alright, so like let me rebuttal that. Okay,
Hashirama can,
so one, we know that Ito first off is a no on its own. Right, we know that like based off like the Tobawama statement. I can go get you that if you need it. Main point, even if you want to say the Rinnegan is better than the Sharingan, which we can just stalemate on that still doesn't debunk the statement from like Hashirama. Hashirama would logically know the most about Madara, and then after he starts becoming alive and he starts getting his power back, Hashirama just blatantly states, yeah, like he's getting his power back. So we have this implication that this, even though he has so-called weaker eyes, he still scales above, which would make sense because we know that Ito is still enough. So like and we can like conclude on that point if we need to.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I guess so. What was your like your whole scale again?
I just said that like Hashirama over Jubito over like Minato.
Okay, well,
You mind letting me
so I want to
explain
go back
this?
to because I kind of interrupted you at the Madara part, so you weren't able to fully explain yourself why Hashirama is above Jubito.
Okay, yeah. So based off the scan as Sentient scans one, we have this implication that like Ito Madara has the speed to take what's it called? Jubito. And we know that like Jubito's weakness is like Sage.
Can
Like
you send the scan of him taking Jubito?
pardon?
Can you send me the scan of Edo Madara keeping up with Jubito?
I said this based off this statement, we have this implication that he can.
In the scan that you sent?
Yeah.
Where is it implied?
Okay. So he states what's it called? What's it called? 15 minutes. In that time, I should stop Obito and switch places with him by using your Sage power. So like this is implication that like Madara has enough speed to take him, and then we know that like
No,
he's
that's a what? Dude, what? How does that? No, how would that imply? That's a far reach, bro. That you can't.
okay.
How,
You mind like letting me
how does that
explain? Like
imply?
I'm about to explain, and you cut me off. Right,
Okay, explain.
okay. So based off this statement, we have this implication that he clearly has enough speed to take him. If he didn't have enough speed, then there would be no point of making this statement. Like the statement would just be BS, like blatantly. But and for the AP, we know that Sage affects what's it called 10 tails users or whatever. So we know that the AP would work. And based off this statement, we know that the speed would scale. He scales relative in speed, doesn't really matter. Hashirama with the scale to Madara, a live Hashirama scales over that. Sage 1 Hashirama scales over that. So we have this implication that he's most likely relative in this circumstance. So it really doesn't matter though.
I mean, shit. Yeah, I have a lot of contentions with that, but like, I have to go. So, yeah. I mean, I concede. I guess. Yeah.
Delightsol mutuals, please.
Sure. Sure. Just DM me your username because I gotta go.
Wait,
Hi.
mutuals?
We can finish this a second time. Like you don't need to give me the win. Like we can continue this like another day.
Mutuals?
We have like
Before you go?
part one and part two.
Okay. I mean, if you want to keep it going some other time, then we can.
Yeah, because I don't want to take a win just because you had to leave. I want to take a win because I want to say I beat you. That sounds much better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then later on
Yeah,
we can do like a cross force like next week or something. What the hell?
Everybody just got dragged off stage. I didn't do that.
Yeah, what the heck just happened, man?
Everybody just got dragged off stage by somebody.
What the heck? Alright,
Oh
we're
my
good.
god.
What the hell?
Bro.
Yo, could you
Well,
like
yeah.
not?
Once again, if you want me to edit that video, then you can just DM me if you want.
Yeah.
Airtiger. All right. Well, yeah. I guess. Peace.
Peace, homie. Snow being a dumbass, moving us.
That was an accident.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
That was pretty